Hello and welcome to the second in a series of Dynamics AX to Dynamics 365 webinar presentations. My name is John Coleman. I'm one of the partners here at Macrosoft. We're joined by many different people on the web today. As you've joined, your phone has been muted. If you would like to chat, you can chat directly to me by hitting the little chat button that appears to look like a bubble cloud or speaking cloud above a cartoon character, and I will receive that and be able to reply with comments at the end as we go through it. So we have 30 minutes for today's presentation. Again, all people are muted as they join so we don't get background noise of the different people. Tahir Masood will be giving us our presentation. He is one of our partners at CalSoft, a partner of Macrosoft. We look forward to an excellent presentation today. And again, as you have questions, please post them at any time in the notes, and I will ask those questions of Tahir at the end of our session. So with that as a very brief introduction, Tahir, we have 30 minutes. Please begin your presentation. You are sharing your screen. Everybody should be able to see that. If you would like to make it full screen, there are kind of two arrows in the upper right-hand corner of the slide that would make it full screen, covering the frame of the WebEx.
All right, perfect. Thank you, John. Welcome, everyone. We are continuing from the last week's session, which was the session one where we talked about the dynamics from a migration perspective, because a lot of people are now considering the migration part of it due to the end-of-life scenario and the cloud wave that is going on. So again, I hope that people are able to see my screen, and today the agenda will be we will do a quick recap of session one, so people who have joined today and have not joined the last week should know that what we covered. We'll talk about some key gains to organizations by moving to Dynamics 365, what are the mapping and the features of AX and 365, what have the new solution have to offer, and then a side-by-side comparison of AX and Dynamics 365 for a better decision making. Coming back to, again, our professional services, that this is who we are from a company perspective. This is what we do, and I will just again ask John to quickly jump in and go through this slide before we move forward.
Thank you very much, Tahir. So Macrosoft and CalSoft are both Microsoft Gold partners. We've been partnered for quite a while of time, working on numerous things from Office 365 implementations, Microsoft Azure cloud implementations, setting up the network for both hybrid infrastructure and private cloud infrastructure. Specifically, what we're going to talk about today is the CRM ERP applications. We also work in a DevOps environment with an agile development approach and have a full project management tied to the Scrum Agile methodology. So today we're going to be talking about Dynamics 365. This is the second in a three-part series. And without further ado, Tahir, if you'd like to continue on. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Moving to the next slide again, our quick recap, and the next couple of slides we'll talk about the quick recap. The major disruption that is triggering a lot of companies' IT strategy is the cloud. A part of it, cloud is literally bringing in a lot of values for the companies, and they are now part of the IT strategy, which is also triggering how the manufacturing, financial institutions, how you are literally deploying your ERP and using your ERP and the related applications. Since we are focused on the ERP part, so cloud is certainly impacting the whole supply chain scenarios from an end-to-end perspective, and people are now offered with much more productivity scenario going forward. This is what we discussed last time as well, that what is the Dynamics roadmap. A lot of people require to understand that the product that they are using for the last 3, 4, 5 years, how it translates into the renamed conventions that Microsoft is using for the products going forward. So CRM and AX has literally transformed into Dynamics Enterprise Edition today. So you have a bunch of features and modules out there, and you just need to pick Dynamics 365 Enterprise Edition. Yes, the modules, as you pick the modules, the cost varies and the license cost varies. But in a nutshell, this is the product that you are looking from if you are using CRM or AX in past. So I will again quickly jump through the next slide. So we stick on time and we spend more time on the agenda for today. We also discussed the best approach and the best practice for the migration in our last session. And we discussed that there are two actually ways to go for the migration. One is to re-implement from scratch, and the other one is to use a technical migration where you are migrating using the tools and technologies, the data from your existing system to the new system. However, based on our experience and our implementations, we have learned that either of the approach can be better, but a collaborative approach where you can pick the best of the both worlds can bring much better value. We think that we should start with a new product exercise where we talk about new product, we talk about its features, we talk about what it can bring on the table. Then we assess what the existing solution that you are running, and then we talk about the migration part of it or upgradation part of it. So you can probably, those of you who were from the last session can probably recall what I talked about, and the core objective to quickly run through this slide is to bring the perspective that we discussed last time around. So this is our best practice. This is the way we think that the organization can get the maximum benefit out of their investment into their ERP platform. All right, so going forward, this is the new part of the presentation that we are going to cover. I'm going to start with a little bit lap around Dynamics 365 mapping and some key features around that. So basically, a lot of people ask this question that what Dynamics, new version of Dynamics or Dynamics 365 brings on the table, and my usual answer to them is that basically it is just bringing a new version of the same application which is technologically enhanced. It is better optimized for the modern world today, and it integrates with the rest of the system well. But from an ERP perspective, we have literally not changed the basics of how we do business from an ERP perspective. It is just like talking about a human body, the anatomy remains the same, and as we progress the new drugs, the new bioagents or the new diagnostic tools that come in, they just provide a better information set for the healthcare professionals to diagnose it better. The same goes with an ERP. Literally how we have done invoicing have not changed because banking has literally not changed from a basic perspective. We have not changed how a supply chain works. It leaves the warehouse and it reaches the end user. So Dynamics 365 is just an enhanced version of how the ERP or the whole ERP scenarios have been worked on. However, the greatest part is that how well it integrates and how well it translates the same information that it used to possess to provide users with much quicker decision-making abilities, much better productivity capabilities, and much better integration capabilities. So you can integrate literally your ERP solution with your Office 365, where you can have one window operation for a lot of things that you do. You can literally go and utilize the power of the form factors and different form factors that allows you to look at the screens and the data which really matters to you and can show you something which actually makes sense to you. An example is that if you're on a supply chain and you're responsible just for selected 4 or 5 parts that are supposed to be on that supply chain or on a manufacturing line, you are only looking at that in part of information on your iPad, on your Android tab, or on your iPhone. So these kind of enhancements has allowed the modern version of ERP to bring more productivity to the users at the end of the day. So from a modular perspective, from a line of business lingo perspective, things are the same because the basics are the same from supply chain perspective, from procurement perspective, from inventory perspective, and so on and so forth. So in a nutshell, this is how the new version is usually developed and is usually positioned. Moving forward, we are going to talk about what Dynamics 365 brings to the table. I can see a lot of people who have registered here are coming from technical background. Most of them are either AX developers or AX consultants, so they might be interested in understanding a little bit more about the technological components of it. So I mean, from again Dynamics 365 perspective, what Microsoft has literally done, that they have literally developed a whole set of platforms which integrate well, which communicate well, and which provide similar set of user experience to its user. So if you are an Office 365 user, if you are a SharePoint user, you are able to literally go and see Dynamics 365 as offered as a similar sort of an interface. Yes, it is more line of business perspective from the lingo that we use inside it, but from a usability perspective, from integration perspective, from building new applications on top of it, from business intelligence and connecting to other devices, you can actually see that Dynamics 365 is now more flavored towards conventional cloud applications which are out there. That actually enhances how quickly you can get the users on board. We have seen that in an AX implementation, the training cycle has been quite long, but with the Dynamics 365, the training cycle has become shorter because the system use more of the user interface themes and designs which users are more familiar with. So by doing that, you can actually make your users more productive, can get onboarding of new users as organizations see a lot of people coming in and going out, especially in the manufacturing industry where the inflow and outflow is quite high. So you can literally onboard your users much more quickly and get them productive much faster. Again, if you look at Dynamics 365 for operations, it is a bunch of modules now. You can talk about sales, you can talk about marketing, field service. Then you have all the financial modules and like procurement. Then you have the inventory modules like GL, inventory. You have quality, fixed assets, so on and so forth. That covers the whole ERP thing. From a licensing perspective, as I touched a little bit earlier, that people are a little bit concerned when we talk to them that, okay, if I'm going for a Dynamics 365 operations license, probably I will be getting all those modules which I don't need. I don't need a CRM or sales or marketing module. I just need a GL and an inventory module for my requirements. So what cloud brings as part of its offering is pay-as-you-go model and literally billing you based on the usage that you are doing. So you can pick and choose among your subscription, and that is the biggest benefit of Dynamics 365 on top of the system that we have been using earlier. Because if you're going for Dynamics AX, you were pretty much either using the system or not using the system. You were having a fixed licensing or not the subscription, rather the licensing model in the past. And going forward, you are paying for pretty much half of the functionality which you are not using. That is not the case with Dynamics 365. So this is in a nutshell a quick lap around Dynamics 365. From a feature perspective, you can certainly go on the Dynamics 365 site. I've shown a quick slide before this one where the high-level functional features are listed down, so you can follow up on that and you can read more about it there. If I move forward, again, I hope the screen is loading in front of you, and this is the biggest benefit that I see that what Dynamics 365 brings for the users. It is the app source scenario. Microsoft has developed a whole new platform where Microsoft as well as third parties can come and build applications and put those applications that you can use with the solutions that you are using from Microsoft, in this case Dynamics 365, and you can literally pick and choose quick applications that integrate with Dynamics 365. These applications have really brought in productivity, and today my core area of focus was to discuss such solutions, because I have seen that a lot of customers in a lot of industries have really taken benefit out of these applications. People can literally get their inventory updated by carrying a mobile device on site. They don't have to rely on their desks to update the system. That has allowed people to remotely do the counting and upgrading of the inventory, getting their supply chain scenarios implemented by using the devices on site. So these apps have really brought in a lot of value. You can build your own applications if you are unable to find one, and that is again where Dynamics 365 comes very handy by providing the interfaces that allows you to quickly develop the applications. So that is one area which has really benefited the people who have moved from the older versions to the new version, or is becoming the biggest decision-making factor for those who are considering the move. I will skip away from the slides for just a bit. I will just show you some information here. If you about the app source, you can go to appsource.microsoft.com. There you can see a lot of applications out there, a lot of categories that you can select from. You can select from different industries, and on the right side you can further refine your search based on the products. So here you can select Dynamics 365 as a product, and if I select Dynamics 365, you can see that there are around 813 different applications from different vendors, including Microsoft, which you can choose and select from. And if you go down, you can actually see top app results, and you can see that there are different options which are out there, which you can pick and choose from. These applications have literally shortened the time to get a new feature functionality in for a company, and that actually translates into how quickly you can bring the value for the business. At the end of the day, the IT people, the IT manager, or a developer, or a program director, or an information manager who is working within a company, they want quick tools that can bring value for their core business. That is the core job of IT. To provide them with the tools and technologies they can really go and build their business on top. Having such applications, such technologies which can bring faster results is going to literally change how you think and how you operate. So this app source is the biggest changing factor which is out there right now, and is driving a lot of migrations from different users. We also possess capabilities in building these applications and configuring these applications for you and customizing them as well. And customizing them is literally not a very long job. If you recall that previously, if you were having an ERP system implemented, it looks like an 18-month project to you, but now it probably takes less than 18 weeks to get everything up and running with all the customizations and everything. So this is literally one of the coolest benefits of Dynamics 365. On top of that, from a small and medium-sized companies which are using Dynamics, it is literally very, very expensive for you to maintain a hardware scenario, then provisioning all the backups and everything, and then having a lot of people on site which are running that thing for you, and then you go through the life cycle of procurement, hardware end of life cycle, software licensing, and then you're always lagging behind in terms of updates that are coming in the product. Dynamics 365 being on the cloud is always up to date. Always new features are coming in. You don't have to worry about the hardware. You are just worried about the subscription cost that you are paying, and you are on a pay-as-you-go model. So if you start with 20 users and you expand to 30 users, you will only pay for the remaining 10 as they come in. Or if you have started with 50 users and you have optimized down to 20, you don't have to pay for the remaining 30 for the rest of the year or for the rest of the life. So it comes both ways, and it provides quick provisioning. We have literally configured Dynamics with basic functionality for customer in 2 weeks. So that is from the day one where they said we have a requirement, and day zero where they have their first user rolled out and having the first functionality implemented for them. So this is the power of the cloud that literally brings everything, or rather brings the speed to everything the businesses are looking for. Again, going to the next level, the Power Apps. I talked about Power Apps, and I've shown some examples. You can literally see a quick video that I have sent. I've placed here. You can use these applications. You can use these devices. You can literally configure a lot of stuff out there. You can build quick workflows using Dynamics 365. These workflows are really, really helpful. They literally triggers an approval and rejection process quickly. And with the availability of Office on all devices like Mac and Android devices, you are not just victim to your desktop, and rest of the organization is waiting for you to get everything done. Whereas you are the one who is the single point who has to approve and reject something. So you are on the go, you are driving, and you are getting everything done and approved. The last thing that I talked about, the biggest benefit of moving to Office 365 is how information is displayed, how people are looking at that information and making the decisions. Literally, the organizations now, they want real-time information for real-time decision making, because at the pace at which market operates has changed. Even for this was true for large enterprises a long while back, but now it has become more crucial for small and medium businesses as well, because they are competing on thin margins, the competition is high, and they have to make decisions based on the real-time data that is available. Power BI capability to integrate with Office 365 is a tremendous feature that is out there. You can have great reports, you can have excellent data insights, you can have brilliant analytics that help you literally go and make quick decisions to change how you are doing business or how you are running your manufacturing, how you are managing your supply lines, how happy your customers are, how good your vendors are in terms of providing you with equipment and so on and so forth. So there are zillion scenarios which are out there, and Power BI is literally the reporting scenario where you can create those reports in the matter of days rather than weeks and months. So this is again a very strong factor when it comes to moving to Dynamics 365 and a reason that people are moving to Dynamics 365. I have been involved with at least 3 implementations where the sole reason for the company to move to Dynamics 365 was the capability that Power BI provides and the integration that it provides with Office 365. So this is again the 2 core reasons that I talked about, apart from the other elements that the cloud brings on the table. That Power BI and App Source are the biggest reasons for you to consider a move to Dynamics 365. I will go with the side-by-side thing at the end again, a quick thing that literally from an ERP perspective, the bases have not changed. How we do procurement, how we manage our inventory, how we do our monthly closing, it remains the same. The users who are part of ERP systems, like accountants, like inventory management people, they all come from a very strong educational background or insight background that is a constant with regards to how this industry operates. So ERP is not a new industry in terms of the processes that we follow. The information systems like Dynamics 365, they provide a new way of doing things by enhancing the capabilities on how you visualize the system and the information that resides in the system and how this information is communicated effectively and efficiently. So from a side-by-side perspective, from a feature standpoint, there is not much of a change. But from a technology standpoint, it is a huge change. It's just like you moving from a 10-year-old car to a new car, which has all these cool features like cruise control and radar-based cruise control and stuff like that, but it doesn't change the fact that you are driving from point A to point B. So this is the same scenario with ERP, and this is where I would like to end, and I would like to jump to the questions. I have been notified that there are a bunch of questions which have already come in, so I will be happy to answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Tahir. So 22 minutes, perfect timing. We have 8 minutes now to wrap up with questions. I've received 4 questions from the group. 2 of them tend to be highly similar, so I'm going to kind of blend them into a single question. Apps seem to be focused, the new focus of Microsoft Dynamics 365. Do apps actually make 365 more productive? And the second part of that, as I'm combining it, is there an extra fee associated with apps for Dynamics 365?
Okay, I will answer the second part first. Yes, obviously there is a fee because somebody's effort has gone into building those applications. And yes, to the first part, it actually brings the productivity. I have seen people on the manufacturing lines, on production lines, not relying on their laptops, don't have to key in all the information using the traditional user interface to do that. They can utilize the touch screens, the modern interface and the modern form factors to quickly look at what is happening and quickly literally going and doing their job and updating that job quickly. So the system works like this. The quickly you are able to input what you are doing in a system, the better information results are calculated at the application and a better decision making comes in. Rather than a person who is updating the system every hour, it is good that when they are updating a system using 3 touches on their screen every 15 seconds.
That just brings me to my last question that I have. We are a small business. We're very concerned that 365 is more than we need. How complex is it to implement and then manage Dynamics 365 on an ongoing basis?
That is where the cloud has really transformed the industry. Whether you are a small business or maybe even a small shop which have probably one retail outlet, you can literally utilize the power of the cloud by just having an internet connection with you. From a manageability perspective, it literally opens avenues for you to select vendors across the globe, because Dynamics 365 is a cloud-based solution. You can have somebody sitting 10,000 miles away with an expertise charging you maybe 50% less dollars per hour to get your system up and running and providing you with all the trainings and everything. So the world has literally come together over the last 5 to 7 years, And the cloud has, again, from a business perspective, the line of business applications are now reaping the benefit of the world becoming closed. So you can easily save ton of cost by avoiding SLAs that you have done with your hardware providers. You can save a ton of cost with the vendor coming in for a 6-month or 2-month assessment of your system on site to make sure that everything is running safe and backups are done properly. Cloud is taking care of the backups. Cloud is ensuring that you have 99.9% SLA available. So you are pretty much putting everything in the hands of these large big boys like Microsoft and taking care and focusing only on the business that you need to be focused on.
Thank you very much, Tahir. That ends our presentation and questions for today. This is the second in a series of 3 webinars. The next will be held 1 week from today, next Tuesday. These are each being recorded, and they will be available, made on demand for you to listen to and share with your colleagues in the future. So again, we thank you for everybody's participation. The meeting is being recorded, and we certainly welcome any follow-up or questions that people have outside of this session.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. And my email address and John's email address is on the screen. You can reach out to me for one particular question where I need more information before I can respond. So you feel free to reach out to me and I will be happy to help.
Thank you very much, and we wish everybody a pleasant day.
Thank you.